Hi, everybody. I'm author William Bryan Johnson, and I'm going to start reading Middle Aged Man in a Trash Can, brought to you by Rumination of Thunder Media. Audio copyright 2026. Chapter 1. There are rules for a new world. Peek out of the trash can and watch for anything odd. People that walk with a limp and look dead. Dragons. Lizard folk that hide in the shadows. We're in the most dangerous worlds. The little girl with the bottomless eyes that won't stop staring at you when all life around her is gone. This world smells like burning metal and feels a little warm to the touch. That's a bad sign. The first peak shows an orange sky like we're in the middle of a forest fire. The second peak shows a typical empty alley with a ton of full trash receptacles. Another bad sign that no one has picked up the trash for a while. No dragons or lizard people, check. Hot air blew in like a windy summer day, odd because it was early spring. The hot wind doesn't help with the sour tang and sickly sweet smell of trash. People scream in the distance. That's a no-go. Nobuyuki, be careful, it's on fire. A white flash of supernatural fur flew up my back and out. They disappear over the high-rise building within seconds. Nobuyuki is my companion on the journey. They get all the pronouns depending on mood and form, and knows what to do in the new worlds because we have a system worked out. One that we don't always remember or follow. Nobuyuki is a beautiful white three-tailed fox. Fox is an animal. Three-tailed is in something from folklore. A talking, multi-dimensional fox, and a fox only part-time. When I get lazy and shorten their name to Yuki, the Japanese word for snow, they get mad. But we're all a little mad down here. We float on a multi-dimensional current into lands unknown. There's too much smoke, that's a no-go. I shut the lid and I wait in the confines of my six-dimensional space. My weird interdimensional pocket where eternity projects like a map of the universe staked on top of an infinite number of clear maps that rotate in and out of sight, of which I have no control where it goes. In the void, I must be careful while waiting on Nobuyuki. If I stare at a point too long, my interdimensional space moves and I lose Nobuyuki. I close my eyes and my mind and wait for the thump. There are gaps in my memory. Sometimes I remember the last couple months. Sometimes I can't remember the day before. Nobuyuki calls it brain trauma and that my memories will come back in time. Thump. Nobuyuki slips in and we go over the checklist in the dark. Are people on the street, I ask? Yes, but not many. Something terrible is happening. Their tinny voice sounds like somebody pushed the treble up on the stereo. Military? No, but police cars with light flashing. No military, Nobuyuki answers. Screaming? There's a sigh in the multiverse dark. No one is screaming at the moment, but everybody's tense. Somebody screams off in the distance. Authoritarian statues or flags? Joe! A voice is suddenly older. Nobuyuki takes the old man form. They tire of the constant question, and it's the only voice I'll listen to. No strange statues that are too big or flags. No lizard people. No dragons. No floating ancients. Good. I don't want to repeat any of that, I say and take a deep breath. We felt some checks. What's with the orange sky? Wildfires to the east of the city. They look bad. Are you ready, Joe? Is it dangerous, I ask? We've been in the void too long. The last worlds were trash and we didn't stay. We've traveled a long way and this is a rest stop. But it's a rest stop with no lights and a large windowless van idling nearby. The Wanderlust is set up and we need to stretch our legs, as long as death isn't immediate. The Wanderlust is set in and we need to stretch our legs, as long as death isn't immediate. There is silence in the void, and the old man knows it. Fine, I'll check the alley. Nobuyuki passes me and out the top. There's no one looking, Nobuyuki says. Air always smells different. The atmosphere tingles and crawls up my skin. It's like walking into someone's home for the first time. No one else understands the center of the field but the newcomer. Nobuyuki calls it dimensional shift. And if you Nobuyuki calls it dimensional shift. And you just need to let the dimensions settle in around you and take you in. The old man hasn't mentioned dimensional rejection yet. Burning metal is a smell you don't forget, and smoke seems everywhere. I take a deep breath of this new dimension air and do my best to gracefully step out of the trash receptacle. Sometimes it's easy. Sometimes I knock over the entire thing. Joe? I turn to see a bald Japanese man in his 70s standing in traditional Japanese robes. I misstep and fall. It elicits a laugh as I pick myself up off the warm pavement. That's odd. Pavement's hot like it's summer. I looked at the building next to us. Memories come in bursts, then fall apart like trying to grab smoke. Where are we? Fort Wayne, Indiana, you idiot. Apparently not a good version of it, the old man replies. But I'm cooped up and I want to explore. No immediate danger? He walks down the alley with the grace of a trained Aikido master. I look homeless. When Nobuyuki transforms, every hair is in place and the illusion is flawless. I look stained. I haven't showered in a long time. My beard is long, and I don't own a comb. Sometimes it's handy to have, because Nobuyuki gets all the attention. Sometimes it's handy because Nobuyuki gets all the attention, either like this or in a young girl's form. I'm invisible and okay like that. At least this time. I'm not covered in blood. The old man pauses. Let's see what's going on before we rush to the next place. People are out and panicked. You see someone staring down death a few times and it's easy to figure out. This is a bad place, Nobuyuki. The old man stops before me, nods to the east. Look. Through the wildfire's smoke, mountains of loose rock rise above the horizon. Something in my head stammers that's the moon. It scrapes the atmosphere, trailing burning moon dust. I'm in the middle of a boiling tea kettle with a 747 flying mere feet overhead. That elevator big drop feeling hits my stomach. Not down, but sideways, in a fierce tidal pull. It roars across the sky as the storm sirens blare. People scream too, and it all blends together in an overwhelming squelch. The panic-stricken bolt through the street. All head to a similar place. I grab Nobuyuki in the chaos and drag him with the flood of humanity. Booms constantly thunder throughout the atmosphere as moon dust and rocks enter. We should head back, Nobuyuki says. I'm William Bryan Johnson. I am the author of Middle-Aged Man in a Trash Can, and I promise you more of Chapter 1 soon.